I will not tolerate such behaviour. If you want to go out now, but if you stand again, I'll lord you out. Make your mind up. Either shut up and get out.
Buckle up, folks. In the next 5 seconds, you're going to hear Keir Starmer try to put out a fiscal bonfire with a squirt gun. And who's tossing the juiciest political charcoal onto those flames? None other than Kemi Badenoch, sharp as a tack, cooler than a cucumber in a deep freeze, and locked on Starmer like he's the last slice of Victoria's sponge at a village fete. This is a political joust for the history books, cheeky sparks, razor-sharp retorts, and a masterclass in British sarcasm that'll keep you hooked right to the final blow. But before we show you the full footage of Badenoch dismantling Starmer piece by piece, quick favor, 98% of you watch without subscribing. It costs nothing but means everything to us, so smash that subscribe button. Done. Brilliant. Now, let's watch as Kemi Badenoch schools Starmer and the Labour benches with a volley of questions they never saw coming.
Position, Kemi Badenoch.
Mr. Speaker, it's extraordinary listening to that last answer from the Prime Minister. Inflation was 2% when Conservatives left office. 2%. It's now nearly double that. When will he recognise that it's Labour's budget driving up inflation?
I think what she forgot to say was over 11% on their watch, and she didn't say a lot. I am confident those numbers will come down, Mr. Speaker. The Bank of England is confident those numbers will come down. That's why we've seen 4 interest rates in a row. But I notice she can't resist grabbing any opportunity to talk the country down. She doesn't mention the growth figures, the interest rate figures, record investment, wages up more than prices, 200,000 jobs created, 4 trade deals. And the reason, Mr. Speaker, they haven't learned, they haven't changed, and as George Osborne said, she doesn't have a credible economic plan.
Mr. Speaker, this is laughable from the Prime Minister. He knows that inflation was brought down by us to 2%, bang on target. We were reacting to a war in Ukraine that brought inflation up all over Europe. While he is doing trade deals with countries like the US and India, their inflation is going down. It's going up here. Why? The ONS says the inflation figures are driven by significant increases in household bills. We warned him repeatedly that this is exactly what would happen, what his policies would do. We called it Awful April. The Prime Minister came into office saying that he would tackle the cost of living crisis. He has failed. He hasn't got a clue, has he?
Mr. Speaker, she talks of their record, the disastrous Liz Truss mini-budget. Inflation through the work. They left a £22 billion black hole. Living standards at an all-time low. Energy prices through the roof. Mortgages through the roof. And, Mr. Speaker, we're taking measures to bring prices down. That EU deal will bring prices down. That's why supermarkets welcomed it. What did she do? She opposes measures to bring prices down.
Kemi Badenoch.
Mr. Speaker, he needs to stop whining about what the last government did and look at what he is doing. He is the Prime Minister. Look at the numbers this morning. As if inflation figures weren't bad enough, we've also learned that the Deputy Prime Minister is on manoeuvres. He's lost control of the economy. He's lost control of his cabinet. She's sitting there staring at me. She knew exactly what she was doing when she briefed that into the papers. She is demanding, Mr. Speaker, 8 new tax rises, as if we haven't suffered enough. People out there are struggling. Businesses are struggling. People are losing their jobs. We cannot have more tax rises. Will the Prime Minister rule out new tax rises this year?
Mr. Speaker, she's not learned or changed. They lost the election because their appalling record on the NHS, on health, on prisons, you name it. And now she accuses everyone of whining about the impact that had on the country. It had a huge impact on working people across the country, and they're absolutely right to complain about it. She wants to talk about the Deputy Prime Minister. The Deputy Prime Minister, working with the Chancellor, building 1.5 million new homes, reforming our planning system, putting £7 billion into our economy, and bringing forward our employment rights bill, which is the single biggest upgrade to workers' rights in a generation.
That's desperate stuff. The whole House would have heard the Prime Minister refuse to rule out new tax rises. The whole House heard it. He didn't rule it out. that his cabinet is open warfare. The Deputy Prime Minister clearly calling the shots. What is it that we've learned? We're heading for new tax rises. We know inflation is up. It's just more and more bad news from a Prime Minister who has lost control. So we heard his earlier answer, Mr. Speaker. We heard his earlier answer on winter fuel. Let's try and get some more information. I'm going to ask him a simple question. It only requires one word, yes or no. Is he planning to U-turn on winter fuel cuts?
Yes. Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I made clear in my earlier answer that as the economy improves, we want to take measures that will impact on people's lives, and therefore we will look at the threshold, but that will have to be part of a fiscal event. But, Mr. Speaker, they lost control of every element of the economy, of prisons, the borders, the NHS, you name it. And now she's lost control of her party. They are sliding into oblivion. They will have to trade on their past, Mr. Speaker, because that's all they've got.
Kemi Badenoch.
Speaker, I made it really easy for the Prime Minister. Just a simple question, yes or no. And he could not answer. I wonder how the public feel about a man who can't give a straight answer to a simple question. And you look at all of them behind him, all of them cheering, when this inevitable U-turn on winter fuel comes, and it will, from a desperate Prime Minister, what will he say to the 348 MPs who went over the top and voted for the winter fuel cut last September? Just like the British public, how can any of them ever trust him again?
Mr. Speaker, it's only because of the measures we've taken that the economy is improving. Growth at the highest rate since in the G7. 4 interest rate cuts, 3 trade deals because countries want to trade with this country because of the decisions that we've made. All of those decisions opposed by the party opposite. They've learned absolutely nothing and they're going absolutely nowhere.
Mr. Speaker, this is a Prime Minister who says he's taking measures. The jobs tax is killing jobs. Inflation is up. Business confidence is down. Everyone is worried. He promised to cut bills, but today we see they are rising because of his policies. He promised not to raise taxes on working people, but his jobs tax means people are losing their jobs. Every week we come here with a new company that is saying they are shedding jobs. That's on his watch. He promised to protect pensioners, but his winter fuel cut has driven thousands into hardship. His MPs hate this. He can't see them, but they all look sick just hearing what it is he's going to do. So let's wait until... Oh, yes, they're laughing. They're laughing. They're laughing.
I expect better from whips. And boys on at the back, I've got my eye on you. Kemi Badenoch.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Order. Order. Sorry. Which one wants to leave first? If I hear it, there we are. They've got the first volunteer. Are you going to behave? Kemi Badenoch.
Mr. Speaker, they are laughing just as they laughed at the budget. Hands up who here wanted winter fuel cuts. Hands up. Not a single one of them. Not a single one of them. The fact of the matter is, this Prime Minister is destroying them. They need to look at what they are doing to the country. The truth is, we all know that it's this Prime Minister, this Labour government, and their policies that are shafting the country, isn't it?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, they look in pretty good form to me, and there's lots of them. Mr. Speaker, she talks about business confidence. Yesterday I didn't have time to read out the list of all the businesses that have come out in support of our EU deal. Mr. Speaker, I don't have time today. It's a long list. I went immediately to Lidl and spoke to the staff in Lidl. They're delighted with the deal we put forward yesterday. Business like the work we're doing. It's giving them confidence in the EU deal. She's opposed to each and every measure.
Picture this. Kemi Badenoch strides in with that unmistakable glint in her eye, papers in hand, ready to serve up a full-bore fiscal roast. First strike, Mr. Speaker, you left inflation at 2%, bang on target, now nearly doubled. Mic drop. No subtlety here. She's throwing political haymakers, and Keir Starmer's dodging like a matador facing a bull that's also reading his polling numbers. He reels off achievements. Inflation spike tackled, 200k jobs. Trade deals, but it's less Prime Minister and more pop-up cafe menu, confident chef, polite staff, and we're all just wondering if the pudding will land. Kemi, having none of it, she hits him with the awful April callback, a pun so sharp it practically draws blood, then delivers the quiz show ultimatum. Are you going to U-turn on winter fuel cuts, yes or no? Starmer waffles. We'll look at thresholds. Part of a fiscal event. A fiscal what? Sounds like Parliament's hosting an economic poetry slam. The chamber chuckles. Starmer forces a rally with G7 growth, interest rate cuts, but the energy's pure July pantomime. Kemi leans in for the final blow. Inflation's up, jobs are fleeing, pensions cut, taxes rising. Your policies are shafting the country, not a strike, a knockout. Perfect parliamentary timing. Starmer's comeback. Businesses love our EU deal. This morning I met with Liddell. That's not a rally, that's a cough in an empty room. This is British political theatre at its finest, dry cutting and surgical. No cheap insults, just precision strikes on policy and delivery. If you've ever watched a politician waffle their way into oblivion, you know why this is a must-watch. So go on, hit like if fiscal event now sounds like a comedy special. Subscribe for more parliamentary roast sessions, and share this with a friend who loves a bit of Westminster drama.